Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. They addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hood Table one more again. It's your girl coming through for a lunchtime live. What's up? You just started listening to my last video. Hey Linda B, how you doing, boo? Child, there's a lot going on in my Tracy pieces, boys. There's a lot going on. Make sure y'all like and share the video, please, and thank you very much. Hit that notification bell if you happen to be new here after you hit the subscribe button. And feel free to cash app or super chat the host. Thank you. You said I am pressing pause and staying here for now. Oh, thank you. Yeah, let me get that little click and view over there. I appreciate it. What up, T Danielle? What up, newbie? Y'all, I got two topics that I want to talk about. I'm going to drop the link just in case anybody wants to hop on here with me while I'm on here for my live. I got about an hour or so, but yes, welcome to the chat. So let me get right into it since I am on my lunch break. Okay. There's two topics I want to discuss. The first one I want to discuss is just Kimmy. Just Kimmy. She was live this morning. I think she's still over there. And being that I'm going live later on with Riggs for our From the Block to the Hood Table Sunday segment, 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific. It'll be on my channel this week. So y'all, meet us here tonight. But anyway, so I'm going live now because when I get off of work, I'm gonna chill till I gotta go live with Reeks. But anyway, so as far as just Kimmy, when King Roman had put that post on his wall a couple of weeks ago about something that LSA said. You know how LSA, they messy, that motherfucker. They be saying shit about everybody over here, okay? Hiding behind the walls over there. But anyway, somebody in LSA had posted something that said, Rico, hold on, let me make sure I'm reading it right. Hold on. It says Rico dropped the tea that KRN and Miss Toby was on a three-way with him and talking about Nika. These hoes slow. Bree said that means KRN been plotting on Nika for 2 years. These hoes slow as fuck. Rico don't remember what they said about Nika, but they talked about her. Then they went on to say Bree and Kimmy used to gossip on the phone about Pisa and Nika. What's her problem with KRN talking about a CC with his friend? Bree told Kimmy not to cash out Nika because she used her sickness for sympathy and lies. And she also told her that Pisa was poor. And she told Triple that Pisa had on dirty clothes when they had met up. Now I remember all this, it was a little while ago, but not far back enough where we, forgot about it. So some of this stuff was still kind of, fresh on our minds. But anyway, the Madison Bleu, the Madison Bleu, just the gift that keeps on giving. It's like a storyline that keeps coming up every now and then. Madison Bleu will continue to live on. Okay. But yeah, so Kim Bree had went live and she was like, KRN, she told Kimmy KRN is just trying to rile up or stir up an old beef, trying to get us beefing again. And Kimmy came live and she said what she had to say, and then Bree came live. They was just going back and forth, giving their opinion, their take on the shit that happened back in the day, well, a couple of years ago with the Madison Bleu shit, right? So Kimmy had said before, a long time ago, that Bree had known who Madison Bleu was. So now I didn't catch this, y'all. I didn't catch this, but from what I was saying, what I was hearing today from Kimmy was that, I don't know, people are still believing that Bree didn't know anything about it, or that Bree didn't know who Madison Blue was. And Kimmy, she said she had showed receipts before, and I thought she did. That's why I'm like kind of confused, because I thought it was pretty understandable when that happened after the shit hit the fan and Kimmy accidentally dropped down under her name or her real name and forgot to switch over to the Madison Blue in the chat. It was something like that that happened. And I guess somebody had figured it out. And then basically Kimmy said she was listening to Olivia, and she said she heard other people over the past week or so say that Bree didn't know who Madison Blue was. And I'm like, I could have sworn that I could be wrong, but I could have sworn that I remember Bree saying shit like, I don't know how y'all didn't know. I knew who it was all along. I don't know how y'all didn't know. I remember her saying, I don't know how y'all didn't know. And I was like, I wasn't in her chat like that, so I don't know. I mean, I just knew when the shit hit the fan. Like, like what was going on when the shit hit the fan. But basically, Kimmy is like, you know what? Bree knew the entire time. I don't know why the fuck y'all acting like Bree didn't know, trying to make her a victim, and shit like that. And the whole reason why Kimmy wanted to speak on this was because she said, basically Bree isn't a victim. And you know how a lot of people have been saying over the years that, their words, not mine, that that people over there be lying a lot. Bree came out, Pizza came out years ago saying they be lying about things or liars. And so people have kept that in their head. There's certain things on here that people will never, ever, ever forget. People will never forget when we say certain things or when we do certain things. Some things will forever live on in the B sector, no matter how much you want people to forget about it. So when they both came out saying they be lying about certain things or something, I probably wouldn't have said that shit. I wouldn't tell anybody that I'm a liar or that I be lying, or I don't know. I can't remember why exactly they said what they said. It's been so many damn years since the B sector got started. So, but again, it'll live on. And every time that you say something or do something or say you did something, people is always going to remember the fact that you are a self-admitted liar. That's what people say, that Bree and Pizza are self-admitted liars. That's just the thing of the B sector. That's what people say, right? So anyway, back to the LSA. So KRN has shared that shit on his wall. And after I heard what Bree said, I said, ooh, now y'all know I said it. I was like, now Kimmy and them been cool. Kimmy, it's so funny how this shit happened right now, because I literally just saw Kimmy and Bree's chat like a week ago, and I was shocked. I was like, what? Kimmy and Bree chat? Not like people can't make up or, just learn how to just let shit go. But like I said, I haven't been in a lot of chats because I've been working super hard over these past few months. So I see shit and I don't see shit. But I saw Kimmy in the chat and I was thinking at that time, oh, wow, that's nice. Ain't that something? That means Kimmy and Bree are back cordial, because what I said the other day was, that's nice that they're cordial, because I really thought they were friends. And Kimmy said she really thought that her and Bree was friends. So for them to fall out, I guess Kimmy didn't expect that to happen or whatnot. After they broke up, after they fell out. That's what I meant to say. But after they fell out, Kimmy, she's always said she always thought that her and Bree was real friends. But again, they always say ain't no friends on YouTube, even though I know for a fact that I got like 4, 5, good friends on YouTube. And like my homegirl said the other day, ain't nan time has she heard anything being said out here in the open that was said behind the scenes to our good friends in the sector. And I have to agree. But anyway, so then basically she said the reason why Bree knows and why she's not a victim is because she said Bree knew from the very beginning, because she said, I told her. And I guess when Bree said that she thought that Kimmy would be not a do bitch. Well, basically she said, she didn't take Kimmy for a do bitch for, KRN. And so that's what I mainly heard when Bree did her commentary. That is something I will remember. It struck in my head, because I was like, oh shit. Remember I told y'all the other day, I said, oh shit, I hope this don't bring on another beef. Because when she said, I don't take you for a do girl or a do bitch for KRN, and y'all, I was like, this is about to bring up a new beef, but I hope not. But if it does, we gonna talk about it. Okay, that's what I said the other day. But both Kimmy and Bree gave their take down, gave their take or their breakdown on the situation. And also what happened with Madison Bleu and the Nika gossip. And Kimmy was like, I ain't no do bitch. Whatever I want to talk about on my platform, I can talk about on my platform, just like other people can talk about on her platform. She ain't part of the trifecta. She ain't part of that group over there no more. She got her own thing going on. Whatever she want to talk about, she want to talk about. The only trifecta that she's involved with is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Ghost. Okay. But she said that Bree and others are saying that Bree didn't know that Kimmy was Madison Bleu. And like I said, I could have sworn that it was said years ago from Bree, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember Bree saying, I'm surprised y'all didn't know. I didn't know because, like I said, I wasn't always in the chat. So I don't even pay attention. I done said this before. I don't even pay attention. I just recently started paying more attention to the chat, only because people, when I would do commentary or when I would talk to my homies outside of here, they'd be like, why you don't pay more attention to the chat? The chat is where it's at. The chat is where all the tea is. The chat be going, So I recently started paying more attention, to the chats and shit. But I didn't used to. I would focus on the fucking panel and what was going on the panel. So anyway, so she was like, you know what? She knew exactly what happened. She knew what the deal was. She knew when I was talking to Mika. She knew when I was Nika, when I was trolling Pizza, and all that. This, that, and the third. This, that, and the third. Child, y'all gonna have to go over there and listen. Y'all gonna have to go over there and listen to Kimmy, discuss, why she's, I don't know if I would call it upset or not, but she's like, y'all ain't gonna run me off. Y'all ain't gonna bully me like they did to Face Yaya, and like they did to Bless Watkins. Now, I don't know the reason why Bless ain't here anymore. I don't know about no bullying. I don't even remember her being bullied off of here. The last thing I remember, and this is the honest God's truth, because I talked about it when it happened. The last thing I remember is when VS was about to be eligible to get back on the tube. I remember her going live and saying, it'll be up in a few weeks. VS probation will be up in a few weeks, or her 3 years or whatever will be up in a few weeks, because none of us knew that VS had already been eligible to get back on YouTube. But a lot of us who like her and support her was anxious. We were like, man, a few more weeks. And everybody was like, dang, do you think that VS is going to come back? I wouldn't if I weren't her. I would if I would. I would and come back and reclaim my throne. I would, because ain't shit going on. People was going back and forth with, should VS come back? Should VS not come back? Do you want VS to come back? Do you not want VS to come back? Some people like, nah, fuck that. I want her to stay gone. Other people's like, we need her back into the sector, right? And I was one of those who was like, yeah, I think we need her back into the sector. So what I remember is a couple of weeks before VS was to come back to the B sector, Bless Watkins claimed that she had some shit going on with her family, and she never came back. She would hit like people chats and shit every now and then, but she never really came back. And we know Bless Watkins used to go live all the time in the morning. She used to be in everybody's chat, over there, supporting everybody and all the things, but she just never came back. And every now and then I'll see her every now and then in people's chat, but she never came back. So a lot of people was like, damn, do VS got something on her? Because, when VS came back, she was like going one at a time, going through all the people that she used to rock with or rock for. And she was, basically giving it up as she give it up how she wanted to give it up when she came back, right? So a lot of people thought that maybe possibly that VS had something on Bless for Bless to bounce at that particular time and not come back. So as far as the bullying, I didn't see that. Y'all, bring it back to my attention if I missed it or overlooked it. But I was like, I don't. But anyway. But so then Kimmy said back then she showed receipts. She said she still got the receipts that Bree knew the entire time that she was Madison Bleu. And Bree knew what it was and why Kimmy did it. She said she knew who Madison Bleu was and she knew why she did it. She said they had an extensive conversation about it. So she said Bree knew, before anybody else. And she knew exactly why she was talking shit to Nika. So, I don't know, child. Kimmy said, y'all ain't about to rewrite history. In the words of mother, y'all ain't about to try to rewrite history on my ass. But she said the receipts were shown a long time ago. But what Kimmy is going to do for all the people in the sector, especially the newbies or the ones who don't remember what went down back then, what Kimmy said she was going to do was unprivate the video to prove that Bree ain't no victim. That's what she said she's going to do. She also said that Bree always knew that she was trolling Pizza too. So I don't know. That's what she said. And then I paid attention to the chat, like some people be telling me to. Hood table, you need to pay attention to the chat. So I went down in the chat a little bit, and some people were saying, if truth serves me correctly, one time Brianna slipped up and called you Kimmy under the Madison Bleu page when she was greeting people as they were coming into her chat. And they said Bree popped herself. Somebody else said Brianna did admit it. She even chuckled when she saw Madison Bleu in the chat. And that's facts. That's what they said. That's what they said in the chat. Somebody else said moments like this are supposed to be that has to deal with Sophie. Oh yeah, let me get to Sophie. Okay, let me get to Sophie. So that's that on that. Y'all go over there and check out Kimmy and hear what she had to say about that. And then also she's going to be posting that video, the throwback video where she says she showed receipts that Brianna knew that she was Madison Bleu. So, if y'all want to chime in on that in the chat, or again, like I said, I'll drop the link down when I'm done so that anybody want to hit the panel and you can chime in that way as well. But okay, so that's on that. And make sure you guys are liking and sharing the video, please, and thank you very much. Now, another thing that Kimmy had talked about was wait a minute, hold up. I know what I was gonna ask y'all. Who the fuck? Now, for those of y'all who might have saw Kimmy, some of y'all might still be over there. But for some of y'all who might have saw her and are over here now, or you can comment after the video when I'm done. But who the fuck was Kimmy talking about when she said monstrosity? I was really up here like, who the fuck is Kimmy talking about? She said when she was talking about them being liars over there and stuff, she said Kimmy started talking about some big, ugly ass, big mouth, troublemaking ass, ugly ass bitch, some monstrosity of a bitch that she said Bree don't really like, and the monstrosity don't really like her. And that the monstrosity is just trying to get in where she fit in, trying to be a part of them or that camp or I don't know, whatever. But I was like, who the fuck? Who is Kimmy? Girl, I was really trying to think too. I'm like, did it just go right over my head? I don't know. But anyway, y'all, let me move on to my second topic. I am 20 minutes in. Let me get to my second topic, some shit that I saw over on Rob Rack's ex-girlfriend's page. Now, y'all know we had talked about her the other day, right? And how she has said on her panel or her show that her and Rob were together. Now, a lot of y'all been following that story time. Some of y'all been following Rob since he got back out of jail the second or third or 10th time. I ain't really been following him like that, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. For all I know, he was still with Empress Janet, but I guess he wasn't. And obviously he's with some girl, well, not anymore, but he was with some girl named Daria. So Daria, she had said on her panel that she was pregnant by him, but she was getting an abortion. She also said save the date because after she goes to her consultation for her abortion, she's going to come live and talk about it. So she was like, make sure y'all save the date. What day did they say it was going to be on, y'all? The 7th or some shit? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But they was like, save the date. And people was like talking about it. The closer it got to the date, they was like, remember Daria was supposed to go to her abortion consultation and shit. She also accused Rob of giving her the herpes. And also calling her son retarded. And also having physical, you know what I'm saying. They was over there laying hands on each other. I don't know. She was, it was a little violence going on. And her, the maintenance people at her apartment building told her or warned her if they saw Rob back over there again, they was going to call the police and have him arrested or escorted off the property, right? I'm sure y'all remember that. So a lot of people was waiting on her to come back live about this abortion or whatnot. I didn't never see her confirm or anything about that, but I there's a video over there where she's trying to put him out of her house. Now, after she went live saying he gave her the herbs and calling her son retarded, and they over there, you know, fighting with each other, and she putting him out and all that kind of shit. We see him at the hotel, which is where he lands in between women. I don't know why he can't get his own shit. I don't know if he can't get his own shit or he just don't want to get his own shit, but he's always in some damn hotel. So he was in the hotel, he was talking about it and woo 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 and carrying on about it. And so the most recent video of Daria's, she's on there putting him out. And I mean, she's cussing and screaming and she's on a rampage. She's going, oh, I mean, she even called him the N-word with a strong ER, like a strong ER. You know how we say nigga? She was like, you, I was like, what? What's going on over here? But yeah, she was trying to put him out of her house and still accusing him of calling her son's name. And I think she was talking about the oldest one, because when she kept saying, quit calling my son's name, quit disrespecting, quit calling my son's name. Ain't nobody talking about your kids, quit talking about my kids. And the little baby, he was like, yeah, quit calling me names. And Doria's like, he ain't calling you names. So I believe she was talking about the older son at that point. And the older son was there in the background. He was the one doing the recording, because at first I was like, if Daria and Rob Rax is in the camera in the picture frame, who is recording? But, you know, came to find out it was her oldest son, her 19-year-old. He was the one who was recording. But anyway, child, that shit over there is so motherfucking messy. But the key thing I take away, and what I said when I first did commentary on this was, don't nobody believe the fact that you claim that you didn't know how Rob Rat get down or what he's all about or what he has done on this YouTube application. Now, she claimed that she only knew about him and Tracy's relationship and she was watching it because she thought it was entertaining or some shit. And I said, wasn't that enough to show you how he got down? Even if you didn't see him interact with Janet or any other person, any other female here, wasn't watching the interaction with Tracy, that Tracy Rob saga, wasn't that enough? Him going to jail, him being an alcoholic, him pulling out the pews, him, I mean, there's all the shit. I mean, the way he was treating her online, like, wasn't that enough? Like after watching that shit, what on earth made you want to fuck with him? That's what I want to know. Because now you calling him ugly. You calling him every name in the book ugly. You called him a gorilla. You said this the second ugly motherfucker that you done gave a chance to. Now he ugly. But like I said, Rob Rax ain't changed. Rob Rax still looked the same way he looked when he was fucking around with Tracy and Janet. Except for he done gained a lot more weight. Especially in the cheeks. But I mean, besides gaining a lot more weight, he still looked the same to me. So when did he become ugly? When he started putting his hands on you? I don't know. But yeah, she was calling him ugly, calling him hoes, calling him bitches, all kind of shit. And I can imagine that's probably how their relationship has been, calling each other names, disrespecting each other, putting hands on each other, because she did say there was some type of violence, some type of, domestic, DV situation going on. That's why the maintenance people was threatening to call the po-pos. I was about to say call the po-pos on a hoe, because she was calling him hoes and bitches. But y'all, they was over there throwing food. Rob was trying to collect his food. I guess some of the food that he had bought, he was trying to collect and take back to the hotel. And they was arguing over who eggs is whose eggs, and who ate the last egg, and who need to buy eggs, and child. Oh, y'all gotta go there and watch that shit for the people who might be interested, because some of y'all don't give two fucks about raw racks. But that shit was crazy. And shout out to the person who sent me that shit, because I was like, whoa, I thought the shit was over. He's back at the hotel. She's gonna have her abortion. I'm thinking the shit is over. He gonna move on. He gonna find somebody else to fuck with on the internet. Rob Rax was like, are you recording this to her son? Make sure you record this. He was like, your mom is drinking alcohol. This is not the first or second time that I heard Rob Rax say she was over there drinking alcohol while being pregnant. And that's when she said, ain't nobody pregnant. Quit saying that. Ain't nobody pregnant. And I was never pregnant. Y'all, that about took me out. Why did it about take me out? Because she told us that she was pregnant. Everybody who was watching that video, all the people who's doing commentary on it, we're saying the same thing. The girl said she's pregnant. She's having an abortion. She wants everybody to be there. She said save the date. Rob said he don't want no retarded baby like her retarded son. And now she's saying on the most recent video with her trying to put him out that she ain't pregnant. She said, I was never pregnant. That's what she said, that she was never pregnant. She said the pregnancy test was negative. So if you got a pregnancy test that was negative and you was never pregnant, why did you come on here and tell everybody you was pregnant and that you got an appointment to have an abortion consultation? She was even telling him, aren't you happy now? Ain't you happy now that I'm not going to have a baby and it's not going to come out retarded? What up, G2 Country Girl? But yeah, now she's saying she wasn't pregnant. She was never pregnant. And the test came back negative. And as far as that consultation about the abortion, she said that appointment was to get a regular ass checkup, not a pregnancy appointment. You know what? If y'all thought that was something, the next thing you know, he threatened to crack her son's head open to the white meat. The 19-year-old, that is. The 19-year-old who was recording, who she kept telling to not call him names. He was like he even flinched. You know how people be walking up on each other and they flinch? Like they about to hit you or they trying to scare you or intimidate you. He was flinching at the 19-year-old son while the son was recording what was going down. Now, right then and there, you know what? I done told y'all the story about me jumping in my son's fight, right? Before when he was getting jumped. And I done definitely told y'all how my sons ride for me, right? Now, I ain't never had no nigga just bust me upside the head or threaten me in front of my sons. But you better know that if that shit happened, that motherfucker be carried the fuck up out of there. Okay? Ain't no way in hell some man gonna be up here disrespecting my son in front of me and calling him out of his names and flinching at him like he about to fuck him up and threatening to crack him upside his head. And you standing there just, get out, get out, get out, get out of here. You're not moving fast enough. Get out of here, you ugly ass, gorilla, monkey looking ass, hoe, bitch. That's all you doing is screaming? I'm like, nigga, touch my son if you want to. I dare you. I dare you to touch my son. See, that's why I keep a whole pew, pew, pew. Because some niggas be asking for the smoke. Some niggas be asking for the smoke. And as soon as he would have hit my motherfucking child, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave it the fuck right there because I just could not believe what the fuck I was seeing. But I guess maybe she had her son recording it just in case he did something. And maybe she had him recorded live or just in case he did something. Because, okay, let me say this real quick before I drop the link if somebody else wanted to say anything. Rob Rax has been caught up in some serious situations with DV, drinking, acting a fool out in public intoxication, all that kind of shit. He went to jail several times on live, once at the hotel. Then when he was walking, we was there, we saw it, and I'll never forget the heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching scream that Tracy let out when that happened. Tracy was so scared, and a lot of people were so scared that they was going to unalive Rob Rax. The police. So scared. And if y'all remember correctly, y'all know Vic, he was up there, Rob, tell him you live, Rob. Tell him you live, Rob. Tell him so they won't do anything, Rob. You live. You tell him you live, Rob. We ain't gonna never forget that shit. It was live in living color on YouTube. And we will never forget that shit. So the fact that he's been in all these different situations, I don't understand why he's still doing this shit on live YouTube. Like, they told him if he does anything else within a certain amount of time, your ass gonna be dragged back in here. Rob went to jail for what, a year? After that shit with Tracy? And you still on here doing some fuck ass shit? Like, you threatened her. He even threatened to RAPE her. This was last week. When she was telling her she was going to have abortion, he said, I will RAP you. And she said, why would you do that? He said, because I can. You saying that type of shit on the internet, on a public platform, so people can record and upload. Do you not remember when all the people was recording and downloading your videos and sending it to the police down there where you are? People do that shit here. When they don't like people, they will send their shit to, even when Tracy got arrested, people were sending videos. Even when VS got arrested, people were sending videos to the judge and the prosecutors and all kind of other. You be giving people ammo to try to get your ass back locked up again. And I don't understand. I don't understand why you just don't keep that bullshit offline. I really don't understand it. He's up there threatening to R her. He's up there threatening to crack her sands. This is his words, not mine. He's threatening to crack her son's head open, the 19-year-old. And he flinched at him. And the dude, all the 19-year-old was kept saying was, dude, just go. Just go. Just go. Then next thing you know, Daria, she's throwing all his food down the stairs. Girl, and shout out to the cameraman, shout out to the son. He was getting all the good old bean footage. All you saw was food and shit and Jordans and all kind of shit flying down the stairs. And then I guess Rob, I think Daria must have hit him or something. I think it was on accident or something. I think she was throwing his food. She was trying to throw his food down the stairs, and I guess she might have hit him. And he was like, did you get that? Did you get that? Did you record that? But yeah, she was like, get your clothes, get your shit, man. I'm telling you that scene from Angela Bassett when she was like, get your shit and get the fuck out. Wait until it's hell. Shit. Shit, Angela Bassett took all that shit to the car and set that shit on fire. Dario's up there, get your shit and get the fuck out. And he was up there talking about his Jordans and shit. Food flying. I mean, cans of food, canned goods all down the stairs and shit. Snacks and shit all down the stairs and shit. He was like, I ain't leaving without my Jordans. She was like, fuck them Jordans. Don't nobody wear no motherfucking Jordans. Jordan don't even own them motherfuckers anymore. Get your motherfucking ass up out of here. Yo, But then the son called the police, and I think the police actually came, but I'm not for sure because when I went over to Rob Rag's page, this nigga been live for 9 hours. So I'm like, is this video old? Is she just now uploading the video? Because the video was uploaded like 6 hours ago or something like that. But then Rob Rack had been live for 9 hours. And I'm like, is this an old video? Did this happen in the past? Did this happen when he went back to the hotel before she said she was having an abortion and she just now uploaded it? Or is this some new bean footage that just happened? And he went straight to the hotel and hopped on the live for 9 hours. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. Let me know. But when he said he was going to crack her head, she was like, you a 40-year-old man. And you trying to fight a 19-year-old boy? Child. And then you know what? Y'all remember Friday? When they said somebody, you eating up all the hog maws, you drinking all the Kool-Aid, you eating up all the peanut butter jelly, you eating up all, girl, she was over there talking about you drinking up all the juice, get the fuck out of here. Just get the fuck out of here. They over there arguing about eggs and shit. She was like, "Them my eggs." He like, "Them my eggs." Your eggs been gone for a week. No, they ain't been gone. I'm like, you over there really, while food is being thrown at you down the stairs, you really over there arguing about who the fuck eggs is in the motherfucking refrigerator. Just get the fuck out before you wind up going to jail again, nigga. Get the fuck out. I don't get it. And then he must have put his hands on her son because next thing you know, she was screaming, "Get your hands off my son. Don't you put your hands on my sons. I'm going to have the neighbor call the police on you. Don't you ever touch my son. You don't put your hands on my sons. He's 19, you're 48. See, that's when we would have jumped his ass. That's when we should have jumped. We would have. And I would have called all my homeboys over. I would have called my brothers over. I would have called my cousin them over. And we all would have mollywop and dog walked that. Boy, you ain't gonna put your hands on my sons. Any nigga that I ain't fuck with knew motherfucking better. Don't put your hands on my motherfucking son. Because I don't put my hands on nobody else's kid. When I was dating Cam's dad, he already had 2 kids before mine. And they was more than welcome at our house. Matter of fact, they was at our house when we moved in together. When we was dating, after we had been dating for some time, because of the fact that in his separation agreement, he had the kids every other weekend and on certain holidays. So, he told me what it was up front. And me being a parent and not a crazy ass, dumbass bitch, I was like, I accept you. I accept your kids. I got to. Just like I want you to accept my kids. When you over this motherfucker, my son here. So why would I be like, oh, when you come over and it's your weekend for your kids, you can't come over? No, they came. They came. And I treated them kids like I treated my own. And whenever they got in trouble, I'm telling your daddy, I'm going to wait till your daddy get home. Just wait till your daddy get home. He going to get you. He going to get you. I didn't put my hands on nobody else's kids. And I won't. Mm-mm. Now, I ain't trying to, throw no shade at people who feel the need to whoop other people's kids that they dating. Nope. I don't want to be in that situation because you know what that brings? That brings baby mama drama. And that brings baby daddy drama. Because let my sons go to their dad and say, this nigga put his hands on me. Oh, nope, nope, nope. That just brings too much drama. And it's already enough drama with baby daddies and baby. I mean, I'm just saying generally, okay? I'm not saying I had a whole bunch of baby daddy drama or nothing like that. I'm saying generally speaking, it's always some drama in relationships, especially if the relationship is fresh and the baby mama that found out that you with another girl and you help take care of another baby's. You know how some female can be real petty and shit. They just don't want you to move on. So, like, no, I never put my hands on his. He didn't put his. We had an understanding. If my sons was being bad or got in trouble in school, he had to pick them up. Wait till your mama get home. Go in your room. No TV, no phone. And wait till I get home and I handle that shit. That's just how we ran our household. But that's just me. But yeah, that nigga, it wouldn't have been no talking. You literally put your hands on her son in front of her. And all she doing is yelling and screaming. Nigga. I'm sure there was something over there that she could have used to defend them. Or at least defend her son. But anyway, she said her son called the cops. She said her son called the cops. And I could have sworn, y'all let me know if I was wrong, but I could have sworn that at the very end of the video, I could have sworn I heard, the radio from the cop car. I could have sworn I heard like what sounded like a cop radio or something. And I heard her say, yeah, my son called the police. So I don't know if the police was there or if the police wasn't there. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes. Did I do good? 42 minutes. Okay, I got 20 more minutes on my lunch hour. So if anybody wants to hit the link, I just dropped the link. If you want to chime in on the Bree and Kimmy situation and Madison Bleu, or if you want to chime in on Rob Rax. But another thing I want to mention too, while I'm waiting to see if anybody's going to hit the link, Kimmy had touched a little bit on Sophie, Dr. Sophie. And I didn't know anything was going on with Dr. Sophie, and it's not my business, especially if don't nobody put shit on here. I'm not that person that goes prying in people's, personal life and all that kind of shit. If it comes out here on the tube and if it's discussed on the tube, then I discuss it if I want to. But I'm not the kind of person to go searching all through your shit just because. No, it got to be on here or I'm not talking about it. Now, what am I going to say? Oh, yeah. Sophie was her head mod. I think he might still be her head mod. But anyway, Sophie, her head mod, I guess he's going through some things. And Kimmy was trying to basically compare what type of relationship her and Sophie have to what some people do on this platform or how some people act. Now, I don't know personally what he's going through. But whatever it is or whatever it was, I just hope everything works out for Dr. Sophie. Because I think Dr. Sophie is really cool. Now, with that being said, Kimmy did say, as far as Dr. Sophie, she was basically saying they're real friends in real life, and that Sophie was dealing with certain things in his life. But she had heard people saying some things about a few people that she rock with or fuck with and support over the past few weeks. So she said Sophie had something tremendous happen in his life. And because they are real friends, he said it to her what it was. And she said she never spoke about it. And because he didn't want her to speak about it. And besides that, I feel like as real friends, I do feel like as real friends, there's certain things like, have you ever had a real friend? I mean, a real friend say something to you like, now don't tell somebody or don't repeat this. And you'll be like, duh, why would I? Like, there are certain things that real friends should know it's not to be repeated. This is just between us. And that's how I treat my real friends in real life. Don't nobody got to tell me not to say anything. It's common sense. Especially if it's something really, really serious. like something really, really serious. It's just common sense not to repeat the shit to anybody. You just keep that unless they gave you permission. Like something happened recently in my life. Well, not my life, but a friend's life. And it was really, really major, right? And she didn't want nobody to know what was going on. She didn't want nobody to know. But it was a situation where they ended up in the hospital. And under a normal situation, I wouldn't have said anything to anybody. But I reached out to somebody real close to them, really, really close to them that I just knew should know because it was that type of situation. And I was scared and terrified that something was going to happen to this person. So I reached out, and the person that I reached out to got in contact, and everything was cool. That friend of mine came back and told me, she said, I so much appreciate you reaching out to that person because they couldn't. Now, there's certain things, certain situations, just like, have you ever heard somebody tell you this is a secret, especially if you was a child, this is a secret, and your mother would tell you things like some things are supposed to be a secret, but if you know that certain thing could hurt somebody or somebody is being hurt, it's certain secrets that you don't keep. You don't go blabbing it off to everybody, but it might be somebody in particular that you might need to reveal that to. And it was a situation like that. And I knew at that time that person, because they couldn't defend themselves and do something for themselves, that they wouldn't be mad at me if I did this. I can't go into details what it was, but trust me. And so when we were able to speak again, they were like, I mean, it was a crying situation. We crying and snot. Oh my God, thank you so much. Because I could, oh my God, thank you for reaching out to them. And I was like, when you know your people the way you supposed to fucking know your people that you've been rocking with for years, you know when and when not to say something. And that's real shit. That's real shit. You have a good day, country girl. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you so much. And please make sure you guys are liking and sharing the video. So on that note, Kimmy did go on to say, he was going through some things, but she knew, what not to say about his situation. And then she was also saying there was a thing that, was going on with Beachy, who she used to rock with. And I think they still cool now because they be in each other's chats. But she said Beachy had lost, her mother. And Kimmy said, I didn't come out here and talked about it. And I was there for her. And she was there for me when one of my loved ones passed on. And, things like that. So she was basically trying to compare how when you have friends, and they tell you certain things, if they tell you not to say anything, you just shouldn't, speak about it. This was Kimmy was saying, when she was bringing up Soapy and shit. And again, whatever Soapy is going through, I'm not the person that needs to know. Whatever he's going through, I hope it works out. I hope it's already worked out. I don't know what it is. I don't have to know what it is, but I think, Soapy's a cool person. I just, I hate for people to just be going through, some terrible shit, whatever, anyway. But then she brought Soapy on the panel. Soapy hit the panel. He was basically saying, yeah, I told Kimmy some shit and I asked her not to say anything. And he said, the reason why I asked her not to say anything or why I didn't come out here talking about it was because I don't want people to think that I'm a money grabber. He didn't want people thinking that he was a money grabber or he was just out here trying to collect some coins, for whatever was going on in his situation. So he said, I don't need no money. I didn't want nobody thinking I needed money, and I didn't want no false, empty sympathy either. And Dr. Soapy said before he dropped down, he said, the ones who do care about me, I appreciate you, love you, all that. And for the ones who don't, fuck you. And he dropped the mic and got off the panel. And on that note, you guys, make sure you like and share the video. Stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. I'm out. Bye.